Tonight on Perspectives with Asima Silva, and we come to you from the studios of WCCA TV in downtown Worcester. It's a very important Perspectives with Asima tonight because it tells a story that you probably haven't heard about. And you haven't heard about this story because the Chinese government does not wish you to hear about this story. They don't like the questions are being asked about what is happening to the Muslim minority in China, to the Uyghur community. But we have three individuals with us tonight who have decided that it is time to speak out. And people have been reticent to speak out, Asima, because of fear of reprisals against their families. But right now it is estimated that there are between 1 to 3 million people of the Muslim community in China who are spending tonight, well, where are they spending tonight? In re-education camps, in detention centers, in concentration camps, call them what you will, but many of them are missing. Individuals who have some fame and notoriety in China, like a well-known singer, and we have members of his family tonight who have not been heard of now for some time. So this isn't just individuals who are nameless and faceless and not able to fight back. Whatever is happening in China seems to be escalating, and that is why we have three individuals who have decided it's time to speak up.
Right. And before we get to our guests, I just wanted to set the stage. The Uyghur community is from the XinJiang community in China. It's a region that is very, very sought over because of its resources. It has one of the best resources in terms of oil. It is the connection from China to the Middle East and Europe. So China does not want to give up this province. They are ruled by their own community member, but who reports and follows the direction from the Chinese government. And now that the Muslim majority is what is in that region, the Chinese government is trying to suppress the religion of Islam and anybody who practices Islam with many different techniques. If you are fasting during the month of Ramadan and you show up to work, and they are forcing you to eat during lunch. In fact, they're having alcohol competitions during lunch, and if you do not participate, you could find yourself in one of these detention camps. Many things are happening. Those are just the minute things that I just mentioned, and we will get to with our guests some of the major things that are happening with their loved ones. And this is one of those shows that has not been done on, I believe, any other major media, because we have someone from their own family that is coming out. They're being very brave, showing their faces, sharing their names, and sharing their stories. Up till now, it has not been done because if anybody had done so, their family is in danger back in China. So this is one of those episodes that is very, very unique from all other major media outlets.
Yeah, I think that this is a story that not just underreported, and I know the BBC and other outlets have done stories on it. I'm not sure if it, as you were pointing out, really has been reported at all. So let's meet our guests.
Yes.
And I do think that China, Muslim community, I think that for many Americans, China, communist country, religion of any kind, many Americans may be surprised to know that there is a Muslim community in China.
Would you mind introducing yourselves and sharing your name with us and which part of China you're from and how long you've been here in the United States? If you'd like to begin.
Yes, my name is Maysam, and I go as Maya Mutallipova. And I'm actually not from China part, but I'm originally from Kazakhstan. And I'm an Uyghur. I belong to this ethnic group. I grew up in Kazakhstan in the former Soviet Union, and I came to United States as a biologist, as a scientist, and I work here at MIT, Whitehead Institute, and I had one of the human stem cell labs there.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak my story in your TV show. My name is Adili. I'm from Hotan, XinJiang, China. I have been living in the United States for 4 years and a half. I come here for education. I'm still taking my master in Cambridge College.
Hi. Firstly, I appreciate that you gave me this opportunity to share my story. My name is Abdulvares Ablimit. I'm from XinJiang, China. I am an Uyghur. I have been living in USA for 2 years.
So just as a education for people listening, a Uyghur community is actually a combination of the Turkish community mixed with Chinese. So they have a lot of Turkish background, and their majority of that region is Muslim.
You are from XinJiang, where much of this seems to be centered, as Asima set this up. Could you, in your own words, tell us your story?
Okay. Minang dadam bu resimdikisi.
Yeah, this is his.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is his brother.
Bu minang anam, bu minang dadam,
It's my
bu
father,
minang
it's
inem,
my mother, and
bu
my
inem
brother,
dağlıq naqşçı.
and my
Bularning
brother.
hozirgi Xitoylar deyotgan lager deb ismini qo'yib olgan u lager emas, u bir turma. Men bularning lagerga qamalganligini angladim. Hem bularga Erkin Asar radiosi orqali bularning mushu yerda ekanligini dalilladim.
It's my brother, a singer. It's my dad and my mother and my father, and they have been missing for over a year. And it's been said that they are in one of those vocational centers, but he knows for sure that they are in those concentration camps.
Is the vocational center, is that what
It's
the
government.
Chinese government
Yes.
calls
Yes.
it, and you're calling
Yes.
it a concentration camp?
Yes, it's very similar to Nazi type
Do
concentration.
we know what is happening behind the walls? And I understand
It's
the walls
very
are quite high.
difficult to get even to any reporters, anybody, or even family members. They cannot go to those camps, and there is no way that they can meet their family members. Even if you will be putting in prison, you have a right to meet your relatives, especially if they are relatives. And these people are not giving that right. So they go every day, and on daily basis, the relatives go, and they cannot meet them. So literally, what we know, what happens to these people inside of these camps are only from those who've been released. And the only ones that been released, as far as we know, are the ones that Uyghur people, usually who hold the passports, not the Chinese passports, but the passports, maybe it's Turkish or from some other countries.
And we're talking about over 1 million people right now. I just wanted to jump in for a second, because one of the things that seems unusual about your story is that your brother is very well known. He's a well-known pop star in the region. Did he just one day there and one day disappeared, or what is there a process that happens?
Bir kun açtılar, yo'qolib ketdim, o yaqana hol dedi.
Men anamninki 2017-yili 6-oyda menga qilgan oxirgi mesajini oldim. Bizni izdima, bizga telefon qilma, biz keyin ko'rishimiz deganini angladim. Shu peti 6 oydan keyin telefon qilsam, nima bularning lagerda ekanligini bir do'stim dedi.
He says that by the telephone conversation with his mother in June of 2017, he spoke to his mom back at home. At that time, she said to him, this was his last conversation. It's been almost 2 years ago. And his mom said to him over the phone, please do not call us anymore. I hope that we will meet with each other soon, but you cannot call us anymore. So Varis doesn't know how his brother, and then 6 months later when he tried still to get in touch and find out what happened, neither his mom or dad or his younger brother were at home. So, and he knows that all 3 of them are missing in those camps.
Incredible. Is that similar to your story, the story that we just heard?
Yeah, I can say all the Uyghur peoples in outside the country almost the same. As it's happened too fast. My parents last time, like they visited me once in 2016. Yeah, it's a picture.
This is his
This is a picture of my family. It's my father, Yilihamu, my mom, Zimin Nisa. and then they visit me the August 2016, and then they just stay 28 days and then leave. After that, when they go back to China, their passport is taken away. But they didn't arrest them at that time. But after that, in the beginning, they arrest my father, and then after that, my mom also arrested. Like my father, he was worked for the Chinese government as a Communist Party for 30 years. He was the vice president of Tax Bureau of Moi County. But even though
he worked for the Chinese government for 30 years, and I'll hold up the picture. Here you are with your family in front of the White House. He worked for the Chinese government for 30 years,
yes,
and yet has now. I guess is this a property grab? Is this because simply about the religion, or
it's because we are Uyghurs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can say just because we are Uyghur,
yes,
and our religion. Because what I know is most of the people arrested just because they have a family member in outside the country, or they travel to the outside country, or they connect with outside the country. Even for me, like, I came to the United States for just for education. I was studying in my undergraduate in China in the Chinese school. Like, I gave my passport, visa, everything illegal, the legal way, and I didn't do anything illegal. Even my parents, even though they don't trust us, like they just catch them. It's really hard to believe. I have never imagined, like, the last time, the 2016, the August, it was our last family reunion.
Yeah, because you brought up, and I mean, it's hard not to take the similarity to Nazi Germany when you bring up the image of the concentration camps and the government going after a religious minority and persecuting them. Is this happening all across China, or this is something that is unique to this region because of the resources of the region?
I think it's unique to the region, and because this ethnic group, which is big ethnic group, Uyghurs, they've been living in that area not for centuries, but for thousands of years. So we have a history, a very long history, and we not necessarily been Muslim at that time. So the Islam came in in
the 1400s.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's been really. It's not in this last century Islam came. It came in 1934 or something like this. This is when Islam came to that region. But this region was not very much accessible to Chinese government. This was, I think, Uyghur people, they had their own government at those days, and when a lot of other countries didn't have, so, and they had their own alphabet, which even Genghis Khan has been using our alphabet in order to record his travels, of all his. They have so they used our alphabet, Uyghurs, and it means that you can imagine how long this history goes on for our people, and the Chinese government had really occupied that region only in 1949, and when in 1933, not just Uyghurs, but it's 9 or 10 ethnic Turkish ethnic groups, and it includes Uyghurs, Kazakhs, it includes Uzbeks, Tatars, Kyrgyz, just to name few, Turkmens. So these people lived for not centuries, but for thousands of years in peace in between each other. And they have been either nomads or settlers, but they have been living in peace. And there is 1,000 miles of steppes, and there is a desert, they call it Taklamakan Desert, that divided from mainland of China. So it's really, in those days when there was the horses but not the trains, and still in 19th century, this region of Uyghur people, or Turkish, East Turkestan as it's been named, is not being accessible for China. So only in 20th century, together with Soviet Union, they divided, two communist countries divided this region. So China occupied the northwest, this is the region of Eastern Turkestan, and other regions like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, they become one after another, they become republics of the Soviet Union. So they were not the countries between even 1992 or 1993, because only after Soviet Union broke, those become as a country as Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. And what would have happened to Uyghur land, which is like Eastern Turkestan, that's the region which was divided between Mao Zedong and Stalin at that time, I think this would have been 16th of republic of the former Soviet Union, and it could have been Uyghurstan. This is how I could see it. But the borders been placed, and borders, when it was placed, you know, my family just happened to be living of both my sides, mom and dad, been living on another side, which was Kazakhstan. But it used to be no borders until 1920s or 30s.
So why do you think now, 2019?
Yes.
And I understand the accessibility issue,
Yes.
but here is communist countries, the fact that you were able to practice your religion for so long seems to be because of the remoteness of the area. Why now do you think that this is happening and seems to be accelerating?
For the Chinese, because it's quite different ethnic groups compared to mainland of China. We've been always Turkish people, but we never been a Chinese. So we don't share a Chinese identity in terms of anthropology. So we are different, and we are Turkish ancestors of modern Turks, and we lived for 1,000 years as a Turkish people.
Yeah, so you think that they're just trying to assimilate?
I think they try to assimilate, but they have a probably much more global
But I mean,
view.
is the Chinese
Yes.
government now trying
Yes,
to assimilate you? Is that what's happening?
definitely.
Because with your father,
Yes.
of course, I mean, here's somebody who worked for the Chinese
Right.
government
Yes.
for 30 years,
Yes.
and yet now has disappeared.
I think they're afraid that Uyghurs would like to have their own independence,
Right,
like
okay.
a Kazakhstan
So
or
they're-
like Uzbekistan, because Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, it is very similar.
Is there an
cultures.
independence movement?
There was not an independent movement as per se. It was always suppressed, if it was any. But I know that in 1933, they announced their own republic. Right. And this was even before Kazakhstan probably been formed or something. And the Soviet Union and the China decided we're not going to allow this. In 1949 is completely destroyed that independence, and this region became Chinese. And because they neighboring with exactly the same people in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, and this, I think China has this threat that these people probably will rise. They want independence. We would rather assimilate right now. We will make them Chinese. And what can we do first? And probably we can actually
Yeah.
But
suppress
it's
them
not
by
just
religious.
by the camps, right? They're also assimilating by, once the men have been
Yes.
removed in these concentration camps.
Yes.
It's mostly men.
Men, okay.
Young, husbands and whatnot that have been removed and put into these concentration camps. The Chinese men are coming in to take their place in those homes. Am I correct?
Yes, they literally want our people to teach not just the language, Chinese language, but they want to teach their cultures. And how would you like it if somebody comes to your home and start living with you against your will? Even if you're such a hospital nation, such a hospital, you probably wouldn't like to share your house with another family, just so then you can learn the language and the culture. I cannot understand this, and this is what happens right now to this day. And my
You
people,
cannot say no.
No,
They don't
I mean,
have-
clearly they come and
yes.
they take you away, to which I have to ask, do you feel that your father is still alive? Do you feel that you will see him again?
To be honest, I don't know. Last time I contacted my parents is December 2017. After that, like, I totally missed the communication with them. Like, in 2018, my father's phone like sent me some emoji, the emoji, not the message, not the clear message, just an emoji. But I'm not sure it's sent by my father or anyone. Like,
So you haven't spoken to him?
no. Like, even the recent, like, I get a message from one of my friends. I asked him to, I say, like, if you're able to go my family or just say I'm okay, like, just say hi. And they said, oh, your parents taken to the study.
Right, and am I correct where no one is allowed to go to a mosque or worship or teach religion?
No.
No.
And practice religion, even in
course
the
not.
house, and if they're suspected,
Yes.
they are detained.
Yeah, they cannot even say over the phone one Muslim word. No, I mean, or anything, which is like very common
Right,
to
right.
any religion.
Right.
You know.
Or like God bless,
Yes,
you know,
no.
it's a very common.
People like arrested by any reason. Even like you say Assalamu alaikum, it's just like that. Hi, how are you? But they're just for this word they catch and then for the 5 years, 10 years.
Wow. I have to ask you the same question. Do you feel that you will see your brother again? And also, I'm curious what the three of you would hope is going to be happening in the near future. But do you feel that you will see your brother again?
I don't know. I want to speak one thing. Yesterday, the Chinese police called me and told me, don't go any media, don't say anything. Your father, mother, and your brother, safety, they are only study right now. And I told him, why? He said, I don't want to talk with you any other things. So if you come back, you can see him.
So they threatened your family.
Yeah.
Why did
Knowing
you
that
feel
he's
it?
coming
Yeah,
to
but
them.
why did you feel it was so important then to come and to speak out?
Немишке аштақтан аңлап немишке бәрібір келдіңмешек сөзлейді аңға деді.
Мен қорқмаймын да. Мен мұшы ата-анамны қойып бәгіче, мен әр қандақ қолымдан келішче, әр қандақ медиаға, бүтін дүнияға ашқарлаймын.
I'm not afraid because I already have lost the most dear to me, and until then they will be released. I'm not afraid to say anything.
So, question what I'm really concerned about is, you know, we only texted on the phone about you coming to the show and interviewing. How did they find out? Like, I'm curious of how did the Chinese police call you on this? I mean, I'm assuming because it's such a volatile and secret and very sensitive situation, you haven't shared it publicly with everyone over email and text and social media. So how exactly did the Chinese police know enough to give you a call?
Because I was sharing Radio Free Asia before came here.
So they were referring to the Radio
Yeah.
for Asia interview, or were they referring to the
Yes,
today's
I have
interview?
a phone number
Okay.
on my Facebook. They found me.
Okay.
What do you hope from speaking out will happen?
And муш геп қылаңға нем ахвал болды деп геп қуатса.
Мен бұны бүтін дүнияға ашқарламасам, бұланы жоқ қылып өтішім мүмкін. Мен бұлаға игі чықшым керек. Çünkü бұла менің қарындашларым, ата-анам.
He says that if I don't speak, then they might disappear silently. If I speak, I might save their life, that the world knows that
Is that how you all feel? That
Yes.
right now the
Yes.
world the world doesn't know that this
just
is going
doesn't
on.
know what
Yeah.
is happening.
Because they didn't do anything like that. They are so innocent.
Innocent and peaceful people.
Yeah, and they are so peaceful. Like, even like before I came to the United States, like, my father told me, you go for study, just go to school, home, like, don't do anything, just focus on your study and come back peacefully. And then, yeah, I did. we didn't do anything. And I'm the full-time student, and this 4 year and a half, I'm always in the school. I didn't do anything, but even though like my parents is taken, even they didn't do anything.
Will you guys return back in hopes of seeing them? I mean, the police said if you return, you might be able to see your family.
No, I don't believe.
You don't believe
Chinese
them?
government ever. Never,
Yeah,
never.
we see some news from the Google, like some of the people, they go back, they arrested directly in the airport. This is what's happened. So
Not one
it's
and
no way
not
to
two.
go back for us.
It's a number.
I have never imagined like I will stay here. Even like before I come to the United States, like my friends ask me, "Oh, after you go back to the United States, will you stay in the United States or you will back?" I say, "Absolutely, I will come back because this is my homeland." But right now, I cannot ever imagine like I came here just for study, and right now I cannot go back. And my parents in catching. I don't even know they are alive or not. I cannot talk with them. This is the 21st century. It's like actually it's really easy
you
to.
can't talk to any of your friends, not just your family.
Yeah.
Any of your friends
Even
or
my
community
friends,
members.
like the religions, they just block me from the WeChat. WeChat is one of the app, just like the WhatsApp. So I cannot contact with my friends, family, relatives.
It's people without their own will, they've been exiled.
Right.
And this is how I see them. So I've been living in Boston for nearly 14 years, and I may be one of the first we built Uyghur community. And so when I met first Uyghur people here, I was immediately introduced by other Uyghurs. That's how we do it, because we belong to the same culture. We share the same language and everything, and we try to spend holidays together. So, and it was, those were mostly professionals that came to Boston because of their profession, like myself.
Right.
And now I see the situation that the kids that came to study, and then they immediately been caught in kind of this political situation in exile.
Amazing. I'm afraid we have come to the end of the program, but it's an incredible story trying to erase an entire people and culture.
Right. So to end the show, usually I end with my perspective. I'm actually speechless. I'll be honest, I only found out that there was a Muslim community in China just a couple of years ago. Being Muslim myself, was completely unaware of this community. And I was very proud of it when I found out, because I looked at some of their mosques and some of their beauty. It was so different from what I was used to. But to find out this community has been suffering so much and that it's being hidden from us, they are losing their families and they're in a lot of pain. And the best thing we can do is to spread the word and help these people out to reunite with their family members. Thank you for watching Perspectives, and I hope you join again.